Hello friends. Today in this video, I am going to be telling the story of the 2021 mystery thriller film Old. Old follows a family that is going through a rough time, so they think a vacation to a tropical resort will help clear their minds and get them back to normal. But they soon find themselves stuck on a secluded beach where they age 1 year for every 30 minutes there. With not much time to think of a way out, tempers will fly and lives will be taken. Want to see if anyone makes it off of the island alive and not 120 years old? Stick around to find out because spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins where we meet the family that we will be following throughout the movie. They are in a shuttle bus from an airport heading to a luxurious island resort as a family vacation. The parents' names are Guy and Priska, and then 2 children. Their daughter's name is Maddox and their son's name is Trent. They arrive to the resort and they are greeted by the resort manager of the facility and have drinks brought out to them to get their weekend started. Maddox and Trent head to the drink station at the resort and Trent meets a friend named Idlib, who tells Trent that he is the nephew of the resort manager that just welcomed the family to the resort. Trent and Idlib click right away, and we can tell they are going to be best friends. They go get settled in their room, and we can tell there is some tension between Guy and Priska, and they may not be in love with each other anymore. They head down to the beach and Trent is going around introducing himself to people, and one guy he meets is a cop, and Trent thinks that is the coolest thing ever as he wants to be a cop when he grows up. Later that night, Priska and Guy are arguing because he found out she has a tumor in her body and she fell in love with someone else after Guy stopped giving her attention. The kids are in the other room and they hear everything, and Trent received a letter from Idlib that seems to be a hidden code, but Trent doesn't know how to decipher it. Next we jump to a guy and a girl on a beach, and she goes out for a swim, but never returns back to the guy. He thinks she was pulled out to sea by the current. The family is having lunch the next day, and the resort manager tells them he has a special secret beach he can take them to if they don't want to be around a lot of people, and it is very secluded. They take him up on his offer. The family and a few other resort guests pack into a shuttle van and get a ride to the beach that needs to be unlocked with a key to get in, so it is about as private as you can get. The driver also leaves them with enough food to last weeks, and he won't walk down to the beach with them after they ask, which is a little odd. Another couple joins them on the beach named Charles and Crystal. Charles is a wealthy doctor in his 60s, while Crystal is a young model, probably just with Charles for his money. We all know some girls that are gold diggers like Crystal here. Also with them is Crystal's 5-year-old daughter, Kara. The guy that lost his girlfriend earlier to the sea is still on the beach mourning her loss. His rapper name is Midsize Sedan. Not even kidding. Trent is swimming in the ocean by himself whenever the girl's body from earlier washes up behind him and freaks him the heck out. They pull her body out of the water and they ask Midsize Sedan what happened to her, and he tells them that she went for a swim and never came back. They assume he is responsible for her death. The next couple to arrive at the beach are Patricia and Jaren. They also were dropped off by the driver and just told to walk to the beach and wouldn't be escorted either. Something is off about this driver. There's no phone reception, so they can't call 911 for the body they found. Jaren tries walking back through the cave where he came from to get help, but he passes out and wakes up back on the beach. The cave pressure won't let him leave without passing out, so they are stuck there for the time being. Out of nowhere, Priska walks up to her children and she doesn't recognize them at all because they look 5 years older than what they are supposed to and definitely larger. The kids have no idea why their mom is looking at them weird because they still believe they are 11 and 6 years old, but now they look like teenagers. Guy is almost freaked out whenever his daughter tries to hug him. They all want off of the beach, but they have no way to exit as they would have to swim a very long distance around the reef that probably is impossible, and they can't walk through the caves due to intense cranial pressure. The pressure makes it feel like they are at the bottom of the ocean. Charles thinks Midsize Sedan is responsible for everything that is happening because he was there before them, and when Charles cuts his face with a knife, Midsize Sedan's scar heals almost instantly after being wounded, and everyone watches it heal. They all start thinking what could be going on, and they definitely notice that they are aging much faster than they normally would, and it's not just the kids, but the adults are aging as well. Jaren notices that they all have at least one person in each group that is terminally sick and is in danger of losing their life any day. Priska then passes out and Guy tells them she has a tumor the size of a golf ball in her stomach, and since Charles is a doctor, he is going to try and do surgery on her right then and there before she dies and remove the tumor. They all work together to keep the cut on her stomach open before it can heal, and they are able to pull the tumor out that now has gotten to be the size of a football. She would have died any second if they didn't do the surgery, and she is alive and well now, except for the aging super fast part of the beach. While all of the adults are conversing what they may be experiencing and they realize they are aging super fast, and come to the conclusion they are aging about a year in a matter of 30 minutes, so some of them may not have very long before they die of old age. Little old Trent and Crystal's daughter, Kara, are getting all cozy with each other inside a tent, and no one is watching them, so who knows what is going on. They both were like 6 years old 10 minutes ago, so this is a bit awkward if I'm being honest. The adults are looking for them, and they finally see Kara and Trent walking over, and they notice Kara has a baby bump, and they totally just had a baby together in the tent. I have no idea how they even knew how to do it, but I guess it is what it is. Everyone starts freaking out, and they know Kara is going to be giving birth any second now, and whenever she finally has the baby dies almost immediately due to the time dilemma and not having enough nutrition. Trent is livid and blames everyone else for his baby dying. I can't even believe what I am saying. Charles starts having some bad symptoms of dementia and keeps pointing his knife at everyone. It has gotten so bad that when everyone else isn't looking, Charles stabs mid-sized Sedan's whole body, brutally killing him. Jaren is tired of not doing anything, and he is going to try and swim around the coral and rocks hoping to get some help, but I don't even think Michael Phelps could make this swim on his best day. Guy tells everyone what is going on, and they are being experimented on by someone for their sicknesses, and then he sees their shuttle driver on the top of the cliff watching them, but when they wave to him, he scurries away and doesn't even try to help them. Maddox goes out to pee in the ocean, and then Jaren's body washes up right next to her, and it's safe to say he didn't make the swim. Shocker. Kara and Trent are having a heart-to-heart together because she is still upset her baby didn't make it, and she tells him there is no point to life anymore, and they will never get off of the beach and back to reality. Kara then decides to try rock climbing the cliff, and seeing if she can go over instead of through, and not have to deal with the insane pressure. Well, she isn't a very good rock climber, and she sadly falls to her death right before she gets to the top. Trent is heartbroken the love of his life didn't make it. Patricia out of nowhere has a seizure, and there is nothing no one can do about it, sadly, and she dies. Guy is also starting to lose his vision, and Priska is starting to lose her hearing, so both of their hours are numbered. They don't have long. They know they are about to die, so they have a heartfelt conversation together saying they are glad they spent their lives together, and whatever happened between them recently, it doesn't matter, and they will always be each other's soulmates. Trent and Maddox are really the only young ones left, and they are reading a journal they found that maybe will give them a way off of the island, and they want to go down swinging and not just wait out their deaths. Charles starts chasing Maddox and Trent with a knife, trying to kill them, so they run away and into a cave system where they find Crystal, who has gone completely mental, losing her daughter and granddaughter in the way she did. She ends up dying from all of her bones breaking, and it is a gruesome scene. Priska then sees that Charles is chasing her children around everywhere, and she slices his arm with a rusted knife, which makes the wound get infected, and Charles dies pretty quickly after the knife wound. It is now just the original 4 family members alive on the beach, and the kids know this is the last time they will ever see their parents, and they do their best to make their last moments heartfelt and special. Sadly, Guy and Priska then die of old age, and the kids are the only ones left standing. But with how quickly aging works here, I don't know how much longer they have either. We then fast forward throughout the night to morning, and surprisingly, Maddox and Trent are still alive, and they look to be in their 50s now, which is just a wild sight considering they were just teenagers. Trent asks Maddox if she wants to build a sandcastle to enjoy their last moments together, and then Trent remembers the coded message Idlib gave him, and when he goes to decipher it, the message says, "My uncle doesn't like the coral." Trent thinks the coral will protect them from the aging, so they give it a shot and swim out to the coral, as it's really all they have left they can do. They get to the coral and Max is about to drown, so Trent swims back to save her, and then the movie cuts to the driver watching them through binoculars, and he assumes they drowned because they never came back up. He phones someone and tells that someone that the mission is accomplished and everyone is dead. The driver heads back to the facility, where we learn that the whole operation is done by the resort owner to test trial medicines on dying people, and studies go much quicker whenever the subjects age as fast as they do on the beach. The resort owner tells them that the medicine they gave Patricia worked and kept her seizures away for years, and they can now introduce that medicine to the world to save many more lives than just Patricia's. Saving thousands for her life is something they can live with. We then see Trent head to the resort, and he goes to talk to the police officer he met earlier, and then the police show up to arrest the resort owner and his whole illegal operation they have going on here. They have done this to hundreds of people and just keep taking innocent lives even though they thought they were doing it for the better good of the world. We then see how Trent barely rescued Maddox from the coral at the last possible second, but at least after the driver had already left the cliff. That is how the movie ends. Thanks for watching.